International Women's Day comes at a difficult time for the world and for gender equality this year. Yet, it is also a time to fight for transformative change. Millions of women and girls and their communities face extraordinary hardships in their economies, in their social life, and public health. This is despite the positive progress made in the previous decades on issues such as girls' education, the elimination of discriminatory laws, targeted health interventions that reduce maternal deaths, and the greater engagement of youth in gender equality advocacy. We salute women and young people for the continuous drive for gender equality and human rights for the last 25 years since the adoption of the Beijing Declaration for Action. We look ahead to the solid opportunities presented by Generation Equality Forum and the Generation Equality Action Coalitions that will address the unfinished business that was started in Beijing 25 years ago. This is especially important as progress in women's representation has been unbearably slow, and it has affected the pace of change for women overall. Women are still mostly absent where decisions are made, and we further lack policies that promote women's leadership. In 2020, as a global average, women made up only 25% of national parliamentarians, occupied a global average of just 16.9% of board seats, 4.4% of CEOs, and just 13% of peace negotiators. Only 22 countries currently have a woman as a head of state or a head of government. This is clearly not good progress. Of course, we celebrate some breakthroughs of women that are at the helm of organizations such as WTO, IMF, European Central Bank, and call for more such appointments. This year, both International Women's Day and the Commission on the Status of Women focus on the participation of women in leadership and decision-making and call for actions that are proven to boost and sustain that representation. For example, we know that where countries have put in place and enforced special measures like quotas, targets, they have made systemic progress on women's leadership, as well as those that have policies to address representation. Where measures do not exist, progress is slower or even non-existent and easily reversible. The universal catastrophic lack of representation of women in decision-making affects women's life, and this has gone on for too long. And it is in fact bad corporate governance to deny affected parties representation on matters affecting them. This requires our urgent attention, especially now in the view of the erosion of our equality gains by the COVID-19 pandemic. During COVID-19, we've seen increased violence against women and girls. Schools dropout rates have increased. Women at extreme poverty is growing, and women have lost jobs at a much higher rates than men. There is lack of much needed digital skills as well. Solutions to these and many other problems cannot be left to men alone. Women's full participation in decision making and in the recovery process is key. Currently, only 3.5% of national COVID-19 task force globally have equal numbers of men and women. This is not good, as it will retain the status quo. So we have to draw the line. No country prospers without the engagement of women. We must draw lessons from women leaders and their experience of handling the pandemic. We need a recovery plan that brings measurable relief and respond to the identified needs. So in this International Women's Day, as well as in the Commission on the Status of Women in every way, we need bold decisions so that we can build back better, which means building back in a gender-responsive manner, in a greener manner, in an equitable and an inclusive manner.